Broncos country, it's showtime. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. You guys have probably seen this news about Jonah Ellis's injury. We'll get to that in a second, but it also had me thinking, you know what? I haven't talked about Jonah Ellis in a while. Let's do a deep dive. How did he compare to his draft position at 76 overall in the third round? I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. Let's go ahead and dive in. Comment, subscribe if you have not done already. We're on our way to 3,000 subs, world domination. And let's go ahead and get into it. This view will look better. Thank you, Chris Thomason, saying Jonah Elliss suffered a fractured scapula bone in his right shoulder last Sunday at Buffalo, but his father, ex-Broncos defensive tackle Luther Ellis, told the Denver Gazette he's expected to be ready in April for offseason drills. It's just a broken bone, so 6 weeks. So, hey, that's wonderful news, guys. He's going to be okay. Hope everything with his recovery process goes great. But, guys, George Paton hit again, okay? George Paton, somebody, a couple years ago, we were like, man, is this guy ruining the franchise? Now, all he does is draft all pros. Now, all he does is draft awesome dudes that come in here and contribute to the team. Maybe some slow starters. Some might be late bloomers, but Jonah Ellis ain't going to be one of them. No, 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 no. Let's dive into this. So, if you remember coming into the draft out of Utah last year, PFF, again, they might have said we had the worst roster coming in to the season this year, but they gave us an A- for our draft. And I think that that's on par with how this draft class is turning out so far. But notice here, PFF had him at 55 overall on the big board rank. Well-rounded guy, got great pass rush moves, probably needs a little, to add a little bit of size to his frame. 6'2", 246 pounds coming in. And you saw Jonah Ellis fall all the way to here. Round 3, pick 76. What is going on? And guys, I am pumped to report that Jonah Ellis is absolutely crushing it. So let's go ahead and just get into how he compared to some of the other rookie edges in this year's class. And I would say that he is right on par with a handful of guys drafted above him in rounds 2 and 1. So I think you could say, yeah, maybe he played like a late first round pick to, with some of these statistical comparisons. But you can see stats right here. Pass rush stats. Now, guys, yes, he is tied for second among NFL rookies at the edge position this year for sacks, just one behind Chop Robinson. And I want to say he was a second-round pick. No, he was 21st overall to the Dolphins. So that's a first-round pick right there. Jonah Ellis right there, though, number 6 in sacks. And look at this, guys. The pass rush snaps that he had compared to the guys that he is right around, he had essentially 101 pass rush snaps less than Chop Robinson. He had a little under 300 less than Jared Verse, and still came out with the same amount of sacks as Jared Verse, and then just one behind Chop Robinson. Now, the amount of hurries and pressures that Jared Verse generated compared to Jonah Ellis, I think that's where you see the pass rush snaps really come into effect because, 84-20. I mean, that's a lot. But this is really cool to see. Laitu Latu was another guy drafted in the first round. Dallas Turner, he was another guy in the first round, wasn't he? I'm going to confirm right now. 17th overall. How about Chris Braswell? Second round, 57th overall. Xavier Thomas. Okay. 5th round. Oh, okay. 255. So he exceeded expectations quite a bit as well. Javon Solomon, was he like a late round? Yeah, 5th round guy as well. So anyways, guys, I'm going down a rabbit hole. All that to say, Jonah Ellis was very, very efficient and productive with his snaps that he got at the pass rush end of things. If this loads, we'll get to the grades, but I think overall grade-wise, he was 14th among rookies in total pass rush grade, but it's not just about rushing the passer, right, guys? It's also about stopping the run. Here we can take a look at just uh, run defense grade. You see Jonah Elliss right here in the top 10. Of course, Jared Verse is right there. There's some guys that barely played any snaps within this. So, I mean, if you want to take away those guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, essentially, Jonah Elliss was, fifth overall for run defense grade. When you look at the tackling, he was right up there as well. So 16 total tackles. That's good for third among rookies. Of course, Jared Verse, Leitu Latu had a lot more. They also played a lot more. This is also something that I wanted to bring up as well. No penalties for Jonah Elliss on the year. Really, really good. And I love to see that. So somebody that came in that I think was going to be able to play quickly, disciplined, smart, all that. We saw that. 8 stops on the year as well. You want to see that continue to increase. And I think here, when you're looking at the pass rush stats as well, something where he can grow in is definitely the pass rush win rate percentage. It was just at 8%, which was, significantly less than some of the other guys that were picked above him. But I do think we're going to see that development because, again, George Paton, all he does is draft all pros now. So, really, really did love to see this. I think that he's another example of us getting a steal. I think Chris Abrams' drain was a steal in the 5th round, right? Jonathan Cooper years ago obviously was a steal. Let's talk about Nick. Pay me my money right now, Benito, which he's going to get his money, right? Round 2, selection 64. So like the last pick of the 2nd round. And he played at an all-pro level this year, right? He's going to get a nice payday. But if you want to look at his rookie year, just comparing, for instance, Jonah Elliss had 2 sacks on the season, his rookie year, and a total of 14 tackles. So Jonah Elliss was definitely a lot more productive. And I think that's also, again, because I think he was a little bit more well-rounded of an edge coming into the NFL. Obviously, Benito has some of that high-end, twitchy, athletic just traits that you can't really teach that Jonah Elliss doesn't necessarily possess. But right now, guys, feel like we got a good mix of edges with Benito, with Jonathan Cooper being well-rounded as well. And then Jonah Elliss can do a little bit of everything as well. I think that that's great. So, again, I thought I would just get on here and talk a little bit about him because you guys, again, have probably seen the news about his injury. Again, right shoulder, broken bone in there, out 6 weeks. That's all it is. So he should be ready to go come April. And I think, again, build on this really, really good rookie year that he had when our Denver Broncos, we've been short of draft capital for many, many seasons. Thankfully, that's not to be the case this year. But one of the reasons you've seen this team take this jump this year is because we've been able to hit on guys kind of later in the draft, which has been awesome. Devon Vele, right? Vele. Hopefully, Audric Estime is a guy that has a nice supplemental role on the team next year in the backfield. He's like the 1B to our 1A that we get this year. We'll have to see about that. But overall, we've been able to find gems outside of the 1st and 2nd round, and Jonah Elliss is another example of that. So, Rodney, I'll get to a few of your comments too, and then I got to get out of here. But really appreciate you guys, the support of the channel. I want to give a shout out to Mike Carmelini. He had me on like top 15 Broncos creators. I really do appreciate that. And hopefully we'll be able to collaborate here soon. It'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, Jonah Elliss was a stud this season. And again, I think really, really efficient for the limited snaps that he played. Again, 6 sacks, playing 300 snaps less, essentially, pass rush snaps than Jared Verse, who also had 6. Yeah, so it was just a fractured, what was it again? Yeah, scapula. So he'll be okay. And Dondre Tillman, a guy that had been in the XFL for the Birmingham Stallions. I think they won a championship or went to the championship. I thought, man, this guy is going to be a nice rotational player for us this year, and I was thrilled to see that. Hey, a broken clock can be right twice a day, baby. Dondre Tillman was awesome. And I think because of this, Rodney, you're getting at a really good question. Do we still try and add depth in the edge room? You can never have too many good edges. That's just how I feel about it. If we draft somebody, say, I mean, I don't think Tyler Barron is going to fall past day 2, but out of Miami, let's say he falls to day 3, though, in the 4th round. I know we got other needs, but it's hard to ignore edge talent and the ability to rush the passer when it's right there for you. And we've been successful, again, drafting these guys outside of the 1st round. It might be seen as a luxury to have, 5 guys that you can really trust playing that edge position. But I would love it. But I would love it. Yeah, out of Miami. Somebody did say on one of my videos or on a tweet that I had that they're like, isn't he injury prone? No, the guy has played, I think, over 90% of his games in college. So he's been awesome. And D-Rock brings up another point here. Drew Sanders. I always kind of forget about him just because he's not dedicated to one position. Says Jonah was very good. I hope Drew Sanders could be better, though. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Drew Sanders. This is, can he be Riley Moss of 2025 at the inside linebacker position? That's my hope. If he can truly become a really good off-ball linebacker, we're in great shape, but I'm not sure how I feel about him off the edge. But I'm going to keep an open mind. If we don't bring in another edge or draft one, maybe they really are going to try and make it work. But I would prefer him over at inside just because I feel like he's an undersized edge. And maybe that, I mean, let me just go ahead and confirm here, like his size, his measurables. 6'4", 230 pounds. Yeah. That is a little undersized for an edge. But we'll see. I do trust that the coaches will get the most out of him. We'll have to see. How about Drew Sanders plus Dre Greenlaw? How about Drew Sanders plus Nick Bolton? How about Drew Sanders plus the guy that played for Miami, Javon? I can't remember his name. Played for Miami and Seattle this year, but really, really productive. I'm okay with that. I will be dropping probably tomorrow or something like that the new perfect off-season plan for the Denver Broncos. And then after that, we might get the new perfect off-season plan for the Denver Broncos. Again, inspired by the GOAT, Brandon Perna, which should be a lot of fun. Yeah, dude, Moss is in year 3. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Can we get Drew Sanders to take that kind of jump? That would be great. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Really appreciate your time. We got more NFL draft film rooms popping up. You guys have wanted Luther Burden. You guys have wanted Tyler Warren. All that stuff's coming this week. It's all coming this week. So be sure to hit that bell notification, like and subscribe on the way out. Dotson, that's right. We need some playmakers. Guys, we're going to have like 50+ million to spend. We're going to get better. We're going to get more athletic. We're going to absolutely kill it. And, dude, I'll definitely hit on Tez Johnson. No doubt about it. So, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Let's go Texans. Go Broncos.